Hey everybody, what is going on? It's your boy Izzo33. Welcome you back to another episode of TFT Time. Today, we're going to be doing another ranked game post-com, because the last one I felt was a lot better than our normal episodes, and I can come to these with hindsight. Now, today's episode, we'll be running a strat that's familiar to long-time viewers, and it's Bait Assassins. Now, this is the new and improved Bait Assassins for you guys that does take little to no effort and is actually really fun to use. So, this game, as you can see, we're loading in. I am still in bronze. I haven't played enough to obviously grind up to higher ranks. And in this game, there is one gold player. Now, this gold player is a Hauntling and really doesn't do that much as far as I'm aware from this game, because I played this quite a few days ago by the time I've got around to giving the audio to this. And yeah, it's one of those games where, yikes, I don't know what I need to do here. And then you make that one judgment call that you'd follow. Anyway, the reason I went Bait Assassins this game was purely down to the elemental hex. Now, we get unlucky here, because I thought we picked up probably the best champion on the board, the needlessly large Rod LeBlanc, and the Fairy Horn actually sniped it. So we get instead a recurve bow. I'm not caring about the champion. The Skarner's not worth anything to me at this stage. I'm not considering using him in my team. He's just there to get me through a couple of rounds. And what I'm saying there is what I plan on doing, a Moo Assassins. Because what you can do is Diana, Quiana, and a Moo and have Inferno. And you also have a bait target in the Amumu. He's very tanky, obviously, because he's Warden, and you use him to basically lure in targets towards him, and your assassins are able just to hit the backline because the opposition's front line's distracted by an Amumu, who is probably one of the best baits now. Like, it used to be Nautilus would be the main bait, and it would allow you to go Ocean, because Quiana gives you Ocean buff with the Nautilus, so you could go that way. Basically, Bait Assassins is variant inspired in a sense, because you can go Malphite bait, Nautilus bait, a Moo bait now, and Cloud. There isn't really that strong of a Cloud champion, so you tend to not go Bait Assassins in Cloud. The closest thing you probably go would be as a Yasuo, but even then it's not that good. But Bait Assassins on Inferno, this is probably the best opportunity to actually use this strat. And the reason is, Amumu is new to the game mode, and he's a very powerful Warden. Obviously, he's the most costful Warden, and he has an AoE stun. Like, that makes him very valuable in these sorts of team comps. And as you can see right now, we're hitting the first play round, and I've basically switched up my team entirely. I've put on the Inferno Hex now my level 2 Diana. I've got a Zyra on my team, just so that if I find something like a Varus or a Quiana, I can basically have Inferno buff ready and round to go. I also pick up an Ornn and a Nautilus. Why? Well, it gives me Warden, it gives me a strong frontline for now, and this round right here, without them two soaking up the Talia ults and the actual damage from autos, we probably would have lost that round. because the Ornn's slowing down so many attacks, and while that's happening, Zyra's charging her ult, getting plants on the board, and obviously using them to kill off targets. They're more powerful attacks than anything we could have at this stage. Diana's just was killing off that person's Syndra, basically stopping her from ulting entirely and also generating for herself a shield. Now, what you saw there was me switching out my Ornn for a Braum. And you're probably wondering, why would you do that? Ornn is okay, he can do a lot more. He has synergy with Zed if you were to keep him in your team. And I honestly think that Braum's a bit more tankier and bulkier in total than Ornn. And that's the entire goal of the bait. They're there to soak up so much damage that it basically makes the opposition waste time, and your team are zooming ahead. Like, you've put a roadblock in their way that they have to get through while you're overtaking everything. And that's why I like bait assassins. It's because opposition kind of have to respond to this, and there isn't many responses. Like, the best response would be a Zephyrs. Zephyrs is probably one of the best items to counter bait assassins. You've also got things to stop attacks, so like Frozen Hearts, Iceborne Gauntlets, and then a lot of damage. Like, a good thing to pick up would be like Lunt's Echoes, things like that cause damage over time that really affect around. Like, it stops bait assassins so much when they're not able to do much. Like, you look at champions that can be used as assassins. You've got Nocturne, heavily reliant on attack speed, and if you build Frozen Heart or Iceborne Gauntlet, he's nigh on useless. You then have Diana. Diana is a cheap option for assassins, and it takes a couple of bits to obviously get to her ult. Now, if you build Poison, chances are that ult's not going to happen at all. And she's squishy enough that she'll just die. Next, you can go with LeBlanc. LeBlanc's probably the most well-rounded assassin in the game. The fact that she has a stun and she's a 2-cost champion, all while having range, she is quite hard to deal with if played correctly. Like, if you play her correctly, where she is keeping her distance from targets and your melee champions are getting in the way of where she is, then she's very easy to use. How to deal with her? The best way, I would say, honestly, is probably isolation. If you look at how I'm positioned, and you see that my LeBlanc's in a corner, you know that if you put a target in the opposite corner to her, she'll go straight to it. So all you need to do is put something like a melee champion, or one of your bulky boys who can deal with her, say an Olaf or even a Nasus. She won't be living that long, and as a whole, she tends to just get bodied quite easily if you do that. Qiyana. is the next champion that we can discuss, and she's honestly well-rounded. You've just got to know how to use her in in the way hexes are used, because obviously she's very hex reliant into how useful she is. Like, yeah, she has a fantastic ultimate that charges quick and stuns multiple targets and does a lot of damage. The big issue is she's another one of them targets that just can get instantly bursted out. And so you need to deal with her quite quickly. And one other option, best way to deal with her, is again isolating her. She wants to hit as many people with one stun as possible. So only give her one option to stun. And also maximize her usage by keeping her maybe as your middle assassin, like in the middle hex, because she can do a lot more dangerous things to opposition if she goes centrally, because it gives her ways into either side of the fight. Now, Kha'Zix is another one of those assassins that is quite hard to deal with if built correctly, because the best build for any Kha'Zix is Seraph's Embrace plus a Spirit Sojourn or a IE. Improve the crit chance. You almost every second. Also, making a mage is insanely powerful. Should also point that out. And then you have to deal with how wild they can be. Now, what you've just seen here in the actual gameplay, if we turn back to it before we discuss Zed, is we've hit the 50 coin limit for interest, and obviously we've spent up to 49, and because we've done that, we've hit level 6, so we should have the champion advantage on the board, in which we do as we come up against the gold player who's winning. We have the bait, as our targets are already in this guy's backline and killing him, and if we win, we'll go up to the 5 coin plus. That's what's ideal here, and because we've got infernals chipping away the damage over time, like look how many 4s are popping off that Scion. It was insane, and that is how powerful this setup can be. It can take a guy who's on a 4-win streak and take him below you in the actual rankings. So what happened here is I sell my Zyra, buy in Annie, I still keep Inferno buff, and that Annie is what I would switch for my Amumu. Purely because Amumu can tank, and if I find what I'd switch to Braum for on Nessus would be obviously for another assassin to get them on the board. Now, here we come up against an Ocean Blade Master comp that's also Steel Ocean Blade Master, which is a weird setup, not gonna lie. It's quite good. They don't do enough damage, obviously, because you've got the 2 oceans and then a random assassin and random low damage predator home to deal with our setup. Anyway, we come to this carousel, and there's the perfect Kha'Zix for us. Like, the perfect item and the perfect trait for us. However, he gets taken immediately. So, options-wise here is probably the Ashe for that Rico bow. We don't get that, so I immediately go towards the Chain Vest. I'm thinking it's a defensive item, plus I do have a BF sword. I can use that to maybe make a GA. I don't have a BF sword. Why am I thinking that? Anyway, I do. It's on the Varus. I am thinking right. So, what we do is we buy XP till we're at 50 coins, and that chain vest can go directly onto the Varus. And now our Varus, for the time being, has a GA. That item is not staying on him. He's just a carrier for it. Because we're going to move that over to something like a Z, or even a Kha'Zix, just so that we have a means to do a lot of damage. But this round is a yikes. This guy absolutely destroys our team. Which, that Shadow Rangers are very strong, as you can see. He was the guy that also got that Ash off the board. Now, I kind of cut myself off before we talked about Zed, and Zed is heavily item dependent, honestly. He's probably the most item dependent champion in this mode. And that comes down to his ability. The fact that with his ability, he copies over items. It makes him so much fun. Like, what we use on our Zed in this game is kind of what got us quite far, literally. The fact is that you can give him certain items that makes him do some insane things. And like this round here, it's Tibbers and Varus versus Ocean Mages, which I thought we were going to take out at least the Talia or Nautilus there, leaving one or two champions alive, but we don't. But we're going to level up here to 7. And the best way to counter Zed, we should probably discuss that, is, well, build damage. Like, if you put on one of your range carries, chances are a lot of damage, like, isolate one of them. Chances are he's not going to be able to do much, because his ult takes so long to actually charge up. So you naturally have to deal with him quickly before he starts making this massive chain of ults. Now, Merc Wolf Camp there, we pick up quite a few nice items. We pick up double BF swords. We put our GA onto our Nocturne as we switch off the Varus for a brand. And we put in 22 coins worth of XP in the last 2 rounds. Now, I'm thinking right now, what do we use our BF sword for? And I'm going to use one on our Diana because she's so close to hitting level 3. I'm going to also consider using the other BF sword for later on for another champion like the Zed, so he can actually get his ult going. And this round is another yikes. It's an Infernal user, a Ranger user as well, who has only really got that Kindred as his main damage stack. The fact that it's Rage Bladed up, which is kind of a broken thing if you think about it. Rage Blade Kindred as a whole is quite strong, because it's similar to how Lucian was in set 1. The fact that she can jump around, causing many infernal hex tiles, and also basically nullifying people's sort of effects, and it forces people to have to chase her. The fact that she's just pew pew, dodge, pew pew, dodge, pew pew, dodge, pew pew, dodge, and it does get quicker. Till the cap of 5, she's very hard to deal with. And that's even going for assassins like this, because she doesn't have to be targeting the assassins around to actually kill them. All she has to do is just keep building up the attack speed on the frontliners or even the damage dealers. It really doesn't matter for the actual champion to what they go after, because it can just build up the speed and the amount of dodging it can do. Now, we are closing in on level 8 right now. We're sat in 3rd, which is a respectable position as the next carousel comes up. We get put up against the bottom guy. He's in elimination contention here. He has an IE on his Yas, and that Yas basically nullifies our Nocturne, double ulting, and the Thresh ult was pretty tremendous for it to keep it alive. Now, we lose this round to this guy, we don't actually eliminate him. And this is the start of probably our big losing streak. We do see here 2 champions that we could take. 3, sorry. Diana, Zed, and the Amumu. Now, I go for the Zed because I have items that I can just immediately stack onto him. I should have gone for the Diana, because that would have been level 3 Diana right there. And yet, I go for the extra assassin to give us assassin buff at this stage, which was the smarter option in the long run, because no one's really using Dianas, so I had a high chance of just finding this one, the last one, to get us level 3. Now, we also pick up a Kha'Zix here, and we hit level 8, so I'm immediately sticking this Zed onto the board, and I'm like, okay, GA Z. Basically, if he ults before that GA gets popped, that's a yikes for everyone involved. And one other thing to point out is I'm at level 8. I can, in theory, just cash out right now. I've got 6 coins into XP this round. Next round I'll be at 8, and I should have enough coins just to toss into it to hit level 9. Now what you're seeing here is Zed's clones going to work. It's distracting this Vlad, while our actual damage dealer is doing work, and Vlad's just building up our Nocturne's just healing off of this Maokai, and because Nocturne's passive isn't technically an ult, it doesn't proc it, so that works out well for us, and we pick up another Kha'Zix here, and I'm thinking, do we cash out right now? Because next round we'll be at 14, and I'm at 53 right now. Basically, I'd be able to cash out next round and be at max level. And I'm thinking, yeah, I could do it now, or we save our coins and do it next round when it's guaranteed. So I'm gonna do that instead. And this round basically is, what the best way to describe it is, it's Ocean buff being annoying, as it always is. And this guy does a lot of damage, putting us on 14 HP. Now we're now 7th. And I'm like, okay, no, we have to cash out now. We get lucky and pick up a Kha'Zix, and I look at my coins, 22 to the 50. We're cashing out. We have to cash out. And then I realize it's Raptors. I've got coins to mess with here. I'm going to have excess for when I do have to buy all the XP. So why not do it then when I'm at +5 interest now? That's the simplistic part of this play. So We'll beat this wave quite easily, honestly. The level 2 Kha'Zix does a lot of work for us. We also get some nice items there, and a Nico's help just so that we could hit the level 3 Diana. Now, I've cashed out right now, I'm level 9, and I'm going through my shop and notice the LeBlanc will pick her up, immediately gets chucked on the board. We'll keep scrolling through here, 2 Kha'Zigs and an actual Nocturne, and issue here is I can't exactly buy the Kha'Zigs yet. So my immediate thought is, okay, well I haven't got my Quiana yet. Let's wait for that. And this round, I'm like, okay, I've done a lot here. We should most definitely win. Yeah, we don't. We lose this and we're on 4 HP. And I'm now, okay, panic stations. That was a fake guy that we lost to. We need to buy and improve. We still haven't found our Quiana. We haven't gotten a Mumu to improve the brand or the Annie. So what do we do now? And I'm thinking Redemption is a very good item. Let's give it to him. So I give my Kha'Zigs, who's moving around the board, going to the lowest health target, which, by the way, when I'm using assassins, chances are there's gonna be at least one assassin around it. Let's move our champion around into the most devastating positions. Like here, you see 4 men on our team just get redemption buff because the Kha'Zigs was in the best position. Now, here we get very lucky, and we get our Mumu, meaning we can sell this brand and do a bit more here. We also moved Kha'Zigs back a row, not because he's in a bad position, more so it gives me a better jumping spread because he can go into other positions. He's not overfilling one side. It's basically filling the field a lot nicer. Anyway, this round, Amumu gets a nice 3-man ult, and because of that, we're able just to sweep up and Kha'Zigs clean up the rest of the targets, eliminating another target. And we've eliminated 2 people in a row now, and we're into the top 4. Now, obviously here, I see the Queen. The Nautilus here. Either are options. I probably should have took the Nautilus, sold the Nasus there, given the items over to either Zed or Amumu, but I take the champion that I need and can basically have a full backline of assassins. Now, that gives me max assassin buff, and we also pick up a nice Zed there. And the reason I say that's nice, us having a Zed, we can, in a sense, roll with a very, very strong team. Now, we can easily switch out a Kha'Zigs now, because we have the extra on the backline, as we come up against a Mole Digger. The Mole Digger with the very powerful kindred, who's immediately being messed with because all her teammates have died. And we win this round, putting this guy on 2 health. Now, we watched this match and it was an elimination matchup technically. The guy above me could have been eliminated. So, I'm here now at this stage and we've got 2 champions that I really want. The Quiana and the Zed. So, I do the executive decision. Sell the 2 Nocturnes we had in order to get for ourselves these vital level ups to our champions. And I think that got us a bit further into this game. As we come up against a Amumu team, who's also, it's a Shadow Ranger guy in the backline. Now, for us, we're the only ones with assassins, and that is kind of very beneficial because no one really has any way to deal with them, because they're able just to avoid your front line and just take out your back line. Like, all these people that are in this match are front to back teamfight teams. We're just a back to front teamfight team. So we're basically countering the style that they've gone for. Anyway, Infernal Drake here with its locket. We obviously will use that locket onto our Quiana. She's middle of the team. She's got the Thorn Mail. She's kind of being used more as utility than for her damage this game, because of how late we've got her. So I naturally get quite lucky there, as I also get Nico's help. And we also have the Quiana buffed up. Now, I got extremely lucky here in my shop. We get Electric Lux and a second Lux in our shop. I'm thinking, what do I do now? In theory, I could get level 2 Lux. But I instead go for the LeBlanc, because she's more likely to make it in the team. And I'm not risking it, basically. I'm going to safe plays. Like, I'd much rather play safe and try and win that way than play a bit riskier and get ruined that way. But here we see the electric buff starting to do its work. Our Lux got some nice procs there against this guy, and we eliminate him. Yeah, we did very good there. And then you realize, oh, it's me versus this guy. I'm final 2 on 4 HP against his 46. I basically survived from 7th because I'm making split decisions that have put me in a good position. Now, we come up against this guy. I forget how this round goes, to be honest. He has his level 3 Scion now. And also, I think a level 3 Varus. But what you see here is a lot of damage coming out from us this quick. And that ultimate there could have been a winner. And I'm thinking right now, yikes, we barely won. And he's not got much to change. So I'm thinking, I'm unsure if we do this or not. So we're literally saying no to any Quianas. And we don't actually get anything useful there, so we'll start selling our Nocturnes, hoping that we may find a Kha'Zix, because that's the only thing I'll really buy right now, because he's so close to being level 3. And this guy doesn't change up any positions at all. He keeps them all the same, and his team gets popped a lot more easily this round. And we basically do a ton more damage, putting him in actual popping distance. Now, we come to this carousel, and I don't know what to pick up. He chooses a Frozen Heart, probably the best decision for him. I just take the Yi for the 5 coins, as the other items aren't really that useful to me. So I sell the Yi, I'm at 10 coins. This is where I can just scroll through, freely looking for Kha'Zix, hoping that we find one. We get another Amumu, but we also find a Kha'Zix. And now I'm like, oh, I really wish I didn't use the Nico's help on the LeBlanc. And so I use the tier onto the Lux, and I'm now Well, if I win this round, I'm buying that Amumu. This guy's stuck the Tarek straight onto his board. And I don't know what he's sacrificed. Maybe he didn't sack anything to get it on there. But he's got a very nice board. We get a very nice Luxul there. But it sadly technically isn't enough. This guy has 3 champions left. 2 of which are pretty much dead and one of them was untouched. If we were able to kill off that Tarek quicker, we would have won that round. And that is sort of a counter there. But we do gain 63 LP for that, and puts us in a good position as we come check our TFT missions that we've got. We've not got many left, but that's going to be it for this episode, you guys. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below, subscribe if you want to. I'll see you guys later.